is the Fade 5 Podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Noise Evans here, coming to you from solitary confinement inside the United Center. I committed a lot of crimes last night. The Harry Styles concert, which I think was like night number 15,000 for him here in the Windy City. That is the one and only Nathaniel Lundy, the good sir. Hopefully, you're already up on units, and you're going to put a big old fat cherry on top of the sundae for the weekend in the NFL and its occurring events. I had a wonderful daytime Sunday slate, and then nighttime occurred, and I gave several units back in that stupid Ravens and Bengals game, as no overs need apply unless it's Devin Duvernay. Maybe Mark Andrews in that contest, but the Bengals offense did not show up. Hopefully that will not be the case between two teams with a lot of electricity offensively. Las Vegas and Kansas City, a couple of rivals in what should be a fireworks display. The Chiefs laying 7.5 right now at BetMGM with a total of 52. In Lundy, I know you get these emails in the morning like I do. The splits are crazy in favor of Kansas City. 86% of the public spread tickets right now on the Chiefs and 85% of the handle on KC minus the 7.5. But will Captain Hook, yar, me mateys, coming to play? So what do you think happens in this game tonight in Cowtown?
Well, first of all, I go back to, let's see, December of 2018. Yes, I remember it well. Actually, I don't. December of 2018, Brad. Since then, every matchup between these two teams, the Chiefs have scored a minimum of 28 points. Minimum of 28 points. So you talk about electricity being in the air for this one. That will definitely be the case. I'm going to say that Captain Hook comes into the favor of the Chiefs in this one. I'm calling 31-23.
Oh, we are very close on the score, my friend. And if you look at last year and you use that as any kind of measuring stick for what occurred, it was just pure domination by Kansas City. They won 41-14 in Vegas and then turned around and won 48-9 at home and cleaned the clocks. And I have to say that very slowly of the Raiders in that home contest. But I think it's going to be more competitive, and I think Captain Hook's going to come into play for the visiting team. So, yar, shiver me timbers, me mateys. I am taking the silver and black on the plus 7.5. I say 31-24. So I'm going to one-up you there, Bob. And the Price is Right competition here on the score. By one.
How much would you pay for that washer and dryer set? Tell you what, I'm just going to bid $1 because everybody else around me sucks. I've always wanted to be that guy on The Price is Right, Brad. The guy that just goes $1 and then you wind up winning. I want to win on The Price is. Actually, I just want to be on The Price is Right in general, but I would like to be the guy that bids $1. I'm in for that.
Well, if I bet $1 tonight, I'm probably going to win an all expenses paid trip to Gary, Indiana, which is quite thrilling.
Betting $1 is about all I can afford after what happened to us yesterday. I'm just going to put that out there. Thank God for the MLB playoffs, which have actually been helping me over the course of the last few days. And we don't have any tonight, which just sucks because it's the only way I've been making any damn money.
Well, let's drain the bankroll some more, shall we? With another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, so let's get to this matchup between the Chiefs and the Raiders and focus on the props market right now. Again, I'm up close to 4 units all the week. I was up a hell of a lot more entering last night, and then a whole bunch of poof of my dollar bills vanished in the process, but I'm going to try to get him back, and I'm going to start with Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to booty scoot his way to the over on 18.5 rush yards. Pull this one from DraftKings at minus 110. Now, this line opened at 17.5 universally, so it's ticked up one notch, and I'm still buying the over on it. He's been over in one and actually 2 games, back-to-back games he's been over. But last year he was over in one matchup against Vegas and under in the other. You look at what Vegas did on the ground. Kyler Murray ran for 28 against them. Russell Wilson, their neck of the woods, ran for 29 against Vegas. It's the only two guys that have gone over. So, knowing that output and knowing what Mahomes has done of late, he's gone for 26 and 34 rush yards. He's averaging 3.3 attempts per game. I think the magic number here is 4 rush attempts. If we get to 4 rush attempts from Mahomes and that coverage dropping back leaves open the tight area of the field there within 10 to 15 yards, he's going to get this in 5 to 7 yard chunks. But we need 4, I think, to ultimately hit the 19-yard mark overall. So fade or follow, Patrick Mahomes, one of the ugliest runners in the league, on that over 18.5 rush yards, minus 110 at DraftKings.
I'm going to go with 2 things. One, the reason I like this bet is we're getting to the point now through the first 5 weeks of the season that if Russell Wilson has done anything, it's an indicator in the positive nature for your quarterback to be able to do something along the same lines, because we know the Broncos offense is gone. It's
broken.
It's vanished. The Dutton family took it to the railroad station. I mean, it's gone. The offense is non-existent. But I'll also say this, though, Brad, because of what I think the game script is going to wind up being in this one, I think he needs 5 rush attempts, not 4. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think Captain Kneel Down could wind up coming into play here for you. So I'm actually going to say, if you want this one, I think you need 5 rush attempts out of Mahomes just to make sure that those kneel downs don't come back and bite you there in the final minutes.
Don't take a knee, Mahomes. Just hand the ball off.
Number 4.
All right, let's go with a 1-game parlay or SGP available at some of the places. This is actually a 1-game parlay OGP, as BetMGM likes to classify it as. And I'm going to stick with Mahomes once again, but we're going to focus on the aerial attack that he usually provides. I'm going to go 255 plus pass yards for the money man and 2+ passing touchdowns. Now, normally on the OGPs, I aim for plus odds, but I do not have that luxury. I don't have that gifted to me here. So it's minus 120, which I still feel is an affordable juice on this because of a pair of low thresholds for him to reach. Look at Mahomes. He has done this regularly this season in 3 of 4 games. A guy that is always a threat for 300 plus yards through the air. And you look at Las Vegas, they're giving up 7.83 pass yards per attempt, 286.5 pass yards per game. And Mahomes as well is throwing for at least 2 passing touchdowns, 3 of 4 matchups. And last season in the pair of games, as I mentioned, which he torched the Raiders, he had 5 passing touchdowns in one game and 2 in the other. So he's usually almost a L word, G word. I will not say them because I don't want to curse myself for the 2 vertical strikes any given single week. But I say to go along with those 2 vertical strikes, he gets at least 255 plus pass yards, minus 120 on the OGP at BetMGM. Lundy, fade or follow?
Well, the problem is you didn't get into plus territory, Brad. I'm really kind of disappointed in you here. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't manage to figure out how to get into plus territory. Look, sometimes you got to pay the juice. And if you're going to pay the juice, you're going to do so in a fashion that you feel confident in. It's why there are player props that are at a minus 130, minus 140 that we still say, hey, we know it sucks. Do it anyway because it's a gimme. Yeah. Those kinds of things. So when I look at what you've got here stacked, yes, it is a minus 120, unfortunately, but I'm going to roll with this one. As you said, the multiple touchdowns, the only thing you ever have to be worried about, and I still think he gets to the 2 passing touchdowns. The only thing you've ever got to be worried about with him is that he gets down. It's like, we were just talking about his rushing prop, right? You get down at 2nd and goal from the 8, and he just decides to scamper it in himself instead of tossing it to Kelsey or somebody like that. So that's your only concern, is that he actually has a down game passing it. But I don't think in this kind of a rivalry underneath the primetime lights for Monday Night Football that happens. So I'm going to follow on this one, but I feel like we need to sprinkle in an extra leg there, Brad. You got to find a way to get into positive territory, my man.
Oh, I need a pinch of pepper. Maybe it's on the rush yards. We take it down to 10. We make this a 3-legger, and we cash it at plus odds. Why the hell not?
Number 3.
All right, sticking with the same game parlay or 1-game parlay theme, let's go to the other sideline and focus on the central caller of Sin City, and that is Derek Carr. And on this 3-legger, all Carr all the time. I'm going to go Derek Carr, 255 plus pass yards. Derek Carr, 1 plus passing TDs. Just one. That's all I need. And then Derek Carr, 35 plus pass attempts. We feel this is going to be a higher scoring affair. I'm on the over. You're on the over. Maybe there's some catch-up mode here for the Raiders at some point in the second half. They have to, turn vertically early and often. So if all three of those legs hit, there you go, Lundy. Plus money, plus 115. And I constructed this at BetMGM. Derek Carr has accomplished all three of these feats in 2 of 4 games this season. Kansas City giving up just a 6.55, a measly 6.55 pass yards per attempt. But similar to Vegas, they're giving up 280 plus pass yards per game, 10 total touchdowns vertically to the quarterback position, and 43.9 pass attempts per game as well. So Carr, I think, is going to, flirt with the 40 plus passing attempts, and we're just at 35 here. So that's a threshold he should easily surpass. Again, 1 passing touchdown, which he's normally a G or L word for any given week, and the 255 plus as well is going to come into play here because the standard line on just passing yards right now at tape time, 271.5 at BetMGM. So to recap, Carr 255 plus through the air, Carr 1 plus passing touchdowns, and Carr 35 plus pass attempts, plus 115, Lundy at BetMGM. Fade or follow.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Really?
I can't. But here's why. It's because Justin Herbert screwed me yesterday. I had a nice, simple 1-game parlay, just like this one, just like this beauty that you've got right here. And one of the legs, Brad, was Justin Herbert to have 35 plus pass attempts. Brad, do you know how many pass attempts Mr. Herbert finished with? You can probably
34.
Guess. There you go. You can guess exactly where he finished. He finished with 34. And now I'm scared. Now I'm scared of the 35 pass attempts. Doesn't matter whether we're talking about Derek Carr or Justin Herbert or Tom Brady or Joe flipping Montana at this point. Now I'm just scared to include pass attempts because I got hosed yesterday by the fact that Herbert missed. And my 1-game parlay on that one was nice and simple, and it had a payday of plus 175. And we just... that one right there. So I'm scared of this one. Everything about it makes sense, but everything about my 1-game parlay yesterday made sense too, and I still got screwed.
Lundy, don't fear the follow. Bet on everything Carr.
Number 2.
All right, one of my favorite props on the board right now, and at tape time, it is still available at FanDuel Sportsbook, and it's one that's under the radar. It's a sneaky good prop that's out there. It's a little bit juiced up right now at FanDuel Sportsbook, but I'm willing to pay the minus 130 on Isaiah Pacheco, the rookie rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs, on the over 20.5 rush yards. So jump all over this. I probably play this up to like 24.5. To be candid, but I love the over on 20.5. Why? Because in week 4, he played on 22.1% of the snap share, and he was very impressive, running with conviction, running with power, and it shakes out statistically as well. He has accumulated 3.46 yards after contact per attempt. That is top 25 right now in the NFL among eligible rushers. So if he gets anywhere similar to the workload that he had a week ago, now he went 11 for 63 on the ground. I don't think he's going to have as many carries, but all I need is 5 carries from Isaiah Pacheco, and I think he will surpass this number. Vegas has been pretty good against the run. They're giving up 3.92 yards per carry to the running back position, but also 85.2 rush yards per game. 6 guys in total have ran for at least 21 yards against Las Vegas so far this season. I think Pacheco makes it a lucky number 7. So fade to follow the rookie Isaiah Pacheco over 20.5 rush yards, minus 130 at FanDuel.
I'm with you on this one. I like the under the radar plays like this. Yeah, you're going to pay a little bit of juice, but what did I just tell you? Sometimes you have to for a prop that you feel pretty good about. So the fact that this is still at 20, I'm with you in terms of playing it up a little bit too, just in case you're catching the pod a little later on in the day, and maybe this has managed to move. Maybe it's at 21, maybe even by kickoff it's at 22. I still think you're feeling okay. I think he gets to 25, Brad. That's kind of my magic number here with him in this contest. So the opportunities should be there. Again, if there's any kind of that positive script for the Chiefs where they're trying to run the clock a little bit later on, anything that's going on with this, I like this prop a lot. It's one of my favorites, which probably means it's doomed.
Yes, it's definitely doomed, but screw it. We got the Ramos with Isaiah Pacheco.
Number 1.
All right, numero uno. I absolutely adore this prop. If you follow the spreadsheet, I am heavy on it at tape time, and I may triple down on it, to be honest with you. That's how much I like it. We'll see where Lundy's head is at on it. But I am taking the over on Josh Jacobs, 18.5 receiving yards, minus 106 at FanDuel Sportsbook. I know what you're thinking. Oh, there goes Brad with his running back catches and receiving yards again. It makes a ton of sense. Why? Because Kansas City refuses to defend the flat. You look at what they have given up this season. An NFL high, 40 receptions for 277 yards and a pair of touchdowns just to running backs. And I'm counting it up right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes. 7 dudes in 4 games have gone over this total against him this season. And you look at Jacobs, he has done this in back-to-back contests. In fact, he's posted mirror image line of 5 catches and 31 yards in those back-to-back contests. He's getting massive volume, 84% of the team's opportunity share. He's averaging just around 21 routes run per game. I love the usage. I love the fact that they're featuring him now as a receiver in the backfield the last couple of weeks, and knowing again that Kansas City refuses to defend the short field, he is going to be very active in that capacity. Even if the game gets out of control, Jacobs is not going to, stand on the sidelines. He's going to be there as a fixture in this passing attack. So fade or follow, my man. Josh Jacobs over 18.5 receiving yards, a lighter juice of minus 106 at FanDuel.
Love it at the minus 106. The other thing, you talked about the 31 yards in back-to-back games. If you look at the first 2 games, he had only 12 and 16, but those were each 1 catch. That's all he did. So you can see, as Brad just talked about, you can see the fact that he's running more routes. So in those first couple of games, he came up short of this number, but he was also ready to plow right past it if Josh McDaniels would actually use him accordingly, which it appears that they've figured out to be able to do over these last 2 when he's finished up at 31. So this is a solid one. This is also another one that you could look at for an OGP, bring that number down, take a 15 plus, take something like that and build it in if you decided that you wanted to do that. But I like this one a lot. Actually like this one even more than the Pacheco one. This is probably my favorite of the day.
Yeah, this excites me greatly. It's kind of like the treatment the Giants player got on the sideline yesterday, the video that we saw from behind the scenes.
Hi.
Yeah, it's rather arousing. I will say that on Josh Jacobs. Yeah, brown chicken, brown cow on the 18.5 receiving yards. All right, Lundy, it's bonus time. What are you high on elsewhere in the action tonight?
Well, after yesterday, Brad, I'm high on everything just because I'm either chasing or I'm high on everything because I'm on substances. So let's go with this. I've got 2 for you. These are 2 simple 2-leg same game parlays. One of them actually is a funky way to do what you were talking about before, Brad, and actually get some plus odds, you freak. Well, I don't know why you're doing this crap without plus odds. Plus odds. Mahomes 255, Carr 255. That's plus 125 right there. That's it. Just put those 2 legs together and you're in positive territory. I see you writing that stuff down.
Yeah.
So put that one down. That gets you to plus 125. I did that one at DraftKings. Also at DraftKings, playing the history card here, Brad, of what happens. we've seen matchups between these two teams where, unfortunately, the Raiders will fail to score. As a matter of fact, in the last two contests between these two, the Raiders have combined to only score 23 points. I don't think that's going to be the case in this contest. So if you take the Chiefs to score 25 or more, all right, over 24.5 points, 25 or more, take the Raiders to score 20 or more. Again, playing into this narrative that we're talking about, that we expect a little pew, pew, pew tonight, and so do the odds makers, because this game, again, 51.5, I've actually seen it creep up to a flat 52 already so far as of tape time. So if you do the Chiefs for 25 or more, the Raiders for 20 or more, that's a plus 115.
Ooh, my goodness gracious. While you were spewing off whatever you were selling me at the end there, I was putting in that wager on Mahomes and Carr plus 25 on the pass shares.
255 for each one of them is plus 125 odds, man.
Entirely attainable and quite seducing. And I've got seduced by that juice at plus 125. I just added to the spreadsheet, as a matter of fact, and immediately forgot everything else that Lundy was selling you again there at the end. I'm going to sell you on a couple of more as well in this game. Let's first start off with Travis Kelsey. And I got a little OGP, and again, it's a minus odds. So, Lundy, plug your ears on this one. But it is only two legs. I think Kelsey goes for 5+ receptions, 70+ yards. He has done this in 2 of 4 matchups this season. You look at some of the struggles that the Raiders have had defending the tight end. It could be a big night for Kelsey. So, we're going to lower the thresholds off the standard lines. You get it at minus 120 on that two-legger as a result. Let's do a little touchdown dance, shall we? Josh Jacobs. Again, I'm high on everything Jacobs related in this game, including for him to cross the chalk at plus money, plus 125 at BetMGM. Again, number 5 in the NFL, entering the week in red zone touches, whether through the air or on the ground. I think Josh Jacobs is going to find the end zone. Kansas City's actually been rather robust against the running back, giving up just 3.17 yards per carry and 52.3 rush yards per game, but they have allowed 4 combined touchdowns to opposing rushers. So Jacobs, find the damn end zone. And one other one that I really like tonight, I am living in the land down under on Jerick McKinnon. Now, I got it at 27.5 combined rushing and receiving yards. It's down to 25.5. I still play it at that number. McKinnon has been under this in 3 straight games. He only played on 22.1% of the snaps last week. Again, this is given the rise, the ascension of Isaiah Pacheco. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously, they're part of this committee as well. But McKinnon, when he even gets the opportunities, he's not, issuing a whole lot of damage. He is RB32 in yards created per touch. So I know it's a low number, but it's all about opportunity share, and McKinnon just simply does not have a high number in that regard. So I am under on 25.5 rushing and receiving yards. Oh, and one more bonus time. You want a 1-play payday just for the hell of it? Noah Gray, who is the other tight end on Kansas City's roster. I basically need 1 catch, and he will hit the over on 7.5 receiving yards, minus 120 at BetMGM. He is, he had 1 target last week. He's been targeted every single game this season, sometimes multiple times. He did not have a catch a week ago, but he's still averaging 11.8 routes per game. He ran 11 routes last week. So given the volume of routes run, 7.5 receiving yards. That's all I need. Make it happen. And a number of guys have already done this against the Raiders this season, and Gray will add his name to the list at just 7.5 yards. Make it happen. You like that one, Lundy?
Well, you're dangling the one and done. It's like our made 3-pointers when the NBA season gets underway here in a couple of weeks. We love these one and done props. They're fun.
They are no doubt fun. So no gray days necessarily in the box score tonight, but on the field, just 1 catch, man. That's all I need. It's going to be a bright and sunny outcome as a result. That is a wrap on this edition of the Feed 5 podcast. No matter where you consume this, if you're just getting the auditory only version, or if you're watching us in an animated picture and sound on YouTube and the Fade the Noise channel, rate and review us, would you please? Por favor, greatly helps out this program. for the long term. And we've had nearly 500 damn episodes of this show, so we would like to do another 500 more. So please give us a rating and a review at your convenience. Follow Lundy and his free and always transparent spreadsheet as well.
And follow because I don't want to jinx myself, Brad, but it really does appear that the only thing I've been able to do right lately is the Major League Baseball. And so since we don't have any for this evening, I will have some MLB bets as we get into the divisional series now. I will have some MLB bets up over the course of the next couple of days. So those of you that like the hard ball, chicks dig the long ball. Make sure you're checking that out because as Brad said, we both have the spreadsheet posted up. His is at Noisy Huevos. Mine is at Nate Lundy. And if you look at the spreadsheet, you will see how absolute dog shit I have been in the National Football League. Thank God for college football and the MLB, which have made up for it because the NFL, baby, it's painful.
It is, and hopefully will not be painful tonight, but painless for both of us. And until next time, that's on Thursday. As always, feed or follow. That is up to you.